As for our news stories and what we've got going on in Pattaya this week, it has not been the craziest news week that we've had, but we do have a couple things that I kind of wanted to get your opinion on and what you think about what's going on. Now, first up, and this got, we got probably about 24 emails and close to 100 comments across all our social media, is that Pattaya authorities are considering opening up the Dongtan Beach road to traffic 24 hours a day. Now, for those of you not familiar, this is a road that connects Pratamnak Soi 5 on Pratamnak Hill, down by the Sands Cafe, all the way to Dongtan Beach and the police box in that area, and extends to Dongtan Road. Now, this road is open to traffic during the day, but traditionally at night, police have shut it down to be a quiet road and because of the condos in the area. Police are now saying that they would like to open this road up to traffic 24 hours a day. Not surprisingly, residents of the condos of the area have already said that they do not agree with this because they think it's going to be loud or people are going to try to race, even though there are plenty of speed bumps on that road, or possibly throw parties on the beach. Meanwhile, police say that they will enforce all the laws strictly. Do you believe that? Tell us in the comments. Anyways, they say they're going to enforce all the laws very strictly and make sure there's no racing or parties or loud noise, even if they open up the road. Regardless, the reason they want to open up the road does sort of make sense, but we also understand why people are against opening it up. The Pratamnak Soi 5 area, for those of you who haven't been here in a while, has really become a super busy area with plenty of restaurants, bars, gentlemen clubs, and a variety of entertainment locations. When this area closes every night around midnight, you can see thousands of people trying to leave via Pratamnak Hill, and the traffic becomes a mess. What they're hoping is by opening up this road, it will alleviate some of that traffic. Meanwhile, though, again, the concern from local residents is the noise. It's likely, in my opinion, to be opened. The next controversial topic that also got a lot of the response was making Pattaya a walking city. Now, for those of you from European countries and some places in my country, America, there's walking cities already. This basically means that cars are banned from the city center, from downtown, from the main area, sort of like Walking Street, and instead, the entire area is open up to walking and some public transportation. Several groups, especially disabled groups and groups that support people in wheelchairs, are really pushing to make central Pattaya, not immediately, of course, because it's not ready, in the long term, a walking city. Meanwhile, most of the feedback that we got online were things like people on motorbikes are never going to listen to this, or Thais don't want to walk from here to here, or this person doesn't want to walk from here to here, or that person, or whoever it might be. We want to hear what you think. Would it be possible to make Pattaya a walking city? Now again, it may still allow motorbike taxis, it may still allow public transportation like bot buses, but essentially the plan would be to shut down private vehicles and make everybody walk or use public transportation in central Pattaya. We want to hear what you think. Personally, I will give my opinion on this. I think it's an interesting idea, but the city's infrastructure is not ready for it at this time. Now, as for a piece of news that got positive comments from our readers, after many, many years of complaints, Pattaya has removed the mess of communication, electrical, and everything else wires on Walking Street, and the area looks a million times better. This has been a project that's been going on for years, but they've finally been removing it. It finally looks a lot better. But for the controversial thing, they still want to remove most of the signs that extend out above the street and have them against the buildings. But obviously a lot of business owners are against that and feel that it would reduce the charm of Walking Street. Meanwhile, city officials want to do this because they say that it will make it easier to bring fire engines down the street in case of an emergency. Both of those make sense. Last but not least that we're going to talk about, this week we're mostly focusing on city stuff, is the second road choke point. Now, with all the construction work and things going on in and around the city, we know many of you continually bring up the point right by Walking Street, coincidentally, at the intersection of 2nd Road, where a small area has been closed to traffic and under construction for a year and a half, coming on 2 years now, and has created a choke point where all the traffic coming from Jomtien and Walking Street is reduced to one lane because 2 lanes have been made for traffic. Unfortunately, the Pattaya City Mayor inspected the area yesterday once again and said that although he understands, he said they literally get a dozen complaints a day about this. He knows everybody hates it. He knows it's a choke point. He's well aware that it's a big problem for traffic. But he says the reason they can't speed this up is that they found a lot of high voltage power cables extended to old projects that connected to Wat Chai, the big temple nearby, that could cause major issues if they move too fast. And some of these literally power the entire area. So they could be looking at potentially knocking out the electricity to, say, all of Walking Street if they do this wrong. I know some of you might actually cheer that proposition, but most tourists and local residents and bar workers would not. So for now, according to the mayor, they are trying to expedite this project as much as possible, but it's not going to go anywhere till about August. Guys, thank you so much for your feedback and support. As always, we thank you for tuning in. Make sure you tell us what you think. And until next time, take care of yourselves. And that's right, as always, each other too.